Everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs. Hope everybody's doing well today. I am here just working on my uh, shabby romantic journals that I'm making, and I was going to just go ahead and finish them out without bringing you guys along with me. But then I really started looking through um, a lot of the comments that I get on uh, the things that I do, and people talk about how um, hard it is for them to start and how to know where to start and that type of thing. And what do you do first and how do you do your ephemera and all that kind of stuff, just the process in general. And I think what I'm going to do, even though this is nothing new, um, is I'm going to kind of give you guys an idea of what I do when I'm making a journal and um, what I do to get ready to do it and get the kind of things that I like to use and that kind of thing. And then hopefully I will have a little bit of time to maybe do a little bit of decorating together. The big thing for me is, and I have said this over and over again, I absolutely hate getting out all the stuff and then when I'm done, putting it all away. So I very rarely do just one journal of a kind. You may only see me do one on camera, but usually I have one, or I like to do three most of the time. Um, One, because I always print out more than I need if I have a kit or something. And so almost, I'll always have enough to do two. I usually make more than ephemera than I can possibly use. And that's kind of how I do it. One thing I don't do, not very often, I've only done it a few times. I make my ephemera to go into the journal, okay? It's very likely I've already picked out the journal that I'm going to do. I've probably already maybe done the cover. I've probably already picked out the papers for the most part, except for maybe like filling in a few coffee dyed papers or something like that. Um, for the most part, I've already have that before I make my ephemera, and so I kind of know the style and what I'm going to do. And of course, on a lot of kits, you get a lot of stuff with it. Now, I usually make a lot of my own to add with it to make it more personalized, or I decorate what they give you. But my point is, though, is that I don't do a lot of mass making, and partly, if you watch my channel, you probably get whiplash because I can go from one thing to another, from one style to another, and it's completely different sometimes. And so I don't necessarily always know what I'm going to be doing next. It just kind of hit. It's not even that I don't think about it or I don't plan it. I have to feel like doing whatever it is, okay? If I don't feel like doing shabby whatever, it's hard for me to create if I don't feel like doing that. If I don't feel like doing a Bohemian Gypsy journal, then it's really hard for me to work with those colors and those textures and all that. So I just do what I feel like doing to a certain extent. Okay, to a certain extent. Holidays, Christmas, like Valentine's. I am going to actually do some small Valentine's journals that I'm going to do part of it with you guys, but not all of it because it's so late and I need to hurry up and get them done. But these are taking me longer than I thought, and mainly because I have decided that I was going to make these journals a lot bigger than what I had originally thought. There's still going to only be one signature, but I put a lot of bulky items in it, and it's going to have almost twice as many pages also as what I originally thought I was going to do. So I am going to have to revamp my cover. Okay, what I'm going to do today is we're going to talk about the process of decorating different things. Decorating pages first. Um, I had already done, we had done these little snippet rolls, and you will see that I use these in decorating the pages already. I'll go through here. And I did a lot of other decorating too, but just to give you an idea of how we use those, see, I made this belly band right there. I used one down here. Okay. I used this right here. I just put it on a little card. Okay. And then I kind of want to show you a few other things that I did. For instance, I made this little pocket out of half of a file folder that came with the kit. This was the pocket that we made, so I put that on. This was a little pocket that came with it, and it's not completely done, but take that out because I'm really not. But just to give you an idea of the kind of things that I will do to my pages before I even, like this has a pocket here and a pocket up here, okay? Before I ever even, and this would go here, before I ever finish putting my journal together. I still have to sew around here a little bit. No, actually I did that one. A few of them I think I have to sew. This is just like a double pocket here. And that's the kind of thing, like I put that on. So that's the kind of thing. Here's another little pocket that I made. And I do all that before I, like here's one that I sewed on, another pocket. And that was made with a little postcard that came with the kit. Here's another little pocket, again, that I made kind of a double pocket right there. And the stuff I have in there, I have no idea if it's going to stay or not. I just did it just to kind of get an idea. Like this is a pocket up here. So anyway, that's the kind of thing that I do before I sew in my signature. And that also kind of gives me an idea. Now, this is without the ephemera in it, and I'm still going to add 4 more pages to this. So, obviously, it's probably not going to fit in a 1/4 inch spine. So, I have to go back in and redo the spine. So, that's something I'm going to do with you guys, because I just think it's a good idea to show people stuff like that. Anyway, let me show you an idea of what I have to get ready and what inspires me. Whether it be decorating pages or, doing ephemera, it's almost kind of the same setup that I get, okay? If you watched my craft room tour, I have a little cart, and I would recommend you go back and do my 2021 craft room cart, and it has these little containers in it, and it has 6 of them. And whenever I'm doing a project, I have figured out that this cart has been working great for me. I've done it for 3 journals now, and I love it. And I'm actually doing 2 journals like this, but the stuff that I need for the journals, hey, is all in the same. Okay, this is all of the dyed lace that we did. A few other pink things that I pulled out. I have my pink stash. And then here's a few of the snippets and things that we made. And I'm not going to use, all of these, but, pockets, just different things that we made that I might want to put in that journal. Okay. And I won't use them all, but I have that. Okay, another thing that I have is I have 2 baskets, and I do this every time I do a journal. I don't actually just, you know, I have a stash of things above me that has this kind of stuff in it, but I specifically went through. This basket has things that I might want to decorate, okay? Like I have some guest jacks, I have some cards, I've got some little teeny tiny uh, uh, pocket things. I've got some very vintage receipts. I've got some more guest checks. I've got an inventory tag. I've got a coffee stained time card, library cards, index cards, just envelopes, different things. Glassine bags that are coffee dyed, some that are not. Just other little envelopes. Just things that I have picked up. I've got a few of these pink things in there, pink receipts, some things I've printed on vellum, some bigger envelopes. Anyway, these are just things that I have that I may want to just take those and decorate them on this journal. And I will add to that, and that's kind of how I do it. This basket is things that I use to decorate with, okay? So these are things that I would pull as I'm decorating that I might want to use. Now, this is not everything that I would use, but it's kind of like a little thing I've pulled from my bigger stash, and I've decided I might want to use these, even stickers, stuff like that. Anyway, so that's stuff that I might want to use. I also in here have, these are all these little tiny cutouts and things that I've cut out. A lot of it from the kit. There's some die cuts in here, all kinds of little stuff, okay, that I could use to decorate with, okay? So I have that. Underneath it, I have a few other things that I know that I probably want to decorate for sure. So I have that kind of ready to go. I just have this sitting on top. Underneath it, I have a stack of all the ephemera that I cut out or that I already had cut out from other things, and some tags I want to decorate. These are all the things that I probably will end up using a good chunk of them, and I have them all in here, okay? And I keep them there because I will decorate quite a few of them, and, as I put them in the journal. And so that's kind of how I kind of keep them separate. I don't know which ones I'm going to decorate. I don't know which ones I'm going to use for sure. But I know that I probably will use these, so that's why I have those. And lastly, what I have, this is just pages that I have printed and some things I've cut out. That's just cardboard that needs to go up here. And these are all things that I probably am going to try and decorate for sure. Okay. And I'll go through some of the kind of things that I do. So I know that I want to decorate those probably for sure. Okay. And I want to make a few things also with some extra pages that I have. Okay. So I know I want to do that. So I keep that handy because these are something I know that I'm gonna do. Okay. So I'm gonna put that over here, back over here. Also next to me, I have my little ephemera thing, and I have 2 of these, and I really do need another one, but I have it divided up like this is my Shabby stuff for the most part, and my other one is like nature journal type stuff. And then of course I have some things like stamps that I use for both. Um, I have some cutouts that I use for both. Just different things in here that I think I might want to use. Okay. Um, honestly, I I don't get in these as much as I should, and that's why I got these in a case because and I have them divided up by different types of things. I don't know why that's in there, but I'll move it. Um, this helps me a lot, and if I have it right next to me, there's a very good chance that I might use it. Okay, but if I have to go find it, some of these are upside down. You know, it usually I don't know. I have to have it kind of close to me when I'm working. The other thing is I have, and I keep these in these little plastic folders. I did have them at one point in a little ephemera file thing, but I ended up having so many, and it's really kind of a pain for me. I don't know. I probably need to figure out a better way to do this, but these are all things, flowers that I fussy cut. I believe these were my porch prints too. And I do them in different sizes. And I use these a lot to decorate. So anyway, I have these handy. And because there's so many, I really don't have them in one of those little, containers because they don't fit in there anymore. Okay, so the other things that I keep handy are, let me see what I've got in here. These are templates that I use all the time. If I have an envelope that I like, and I have more than this, but I cut it out. This is on pretty thick cardstock, not super thick, but thicker than paper. And of course, I took the envelope out of here and I used it, or I may use it if it's in this case. But I have templates so that I can draw envelopes out of just regular paper. For instance, here's some papers that, and I always do it on the back. Let's say, for instance, I want to do this. I'll just take that, and I usually use black because a lot of times I use my scan and cut now, and I will do this. And with a black line like that, without any printing on the other side, this thing will cut out very easily because sometimes it has a hard time recognizing, and it's a whole process with it. Sometimes it's really not worth it. It's just easier to cut it out by hand, but don't get me wrong, I love it. You see all those fussy cuts? There's no way that that would have taken me probably weeks to do all that. It's not good to do that, but that's okay. And anyway, you can cut this out by hand. It's not a big deal. But now you have something that is going to give you a really cool envelope. Okay, and there you go. So the thing about these is that a lot of times too, and I'll see if I show you those. Go back in here. I will do. Oh, where did they go? Let's see if I can find them. Okay, so let's just say, for instance, you have these, you can only use so many pages, or you can print additional pages. You can just take them and just make envelopes out of them and add that to your whole thing. Now, on this one, I could have printed on the other side, so then the inside of the envelope would be And this is to do a tie thing on there. That's why it doesn't close all the way. But you could print on this side too. Then the inside would be printed or whatever. One of the things I love doing, and where's my envelope punch here? Is making envelopes. A lot of times I'll put them in the middle of the signature because I just think that looks really cool. So let's just say we want to do let's just say we want to do an A2 envelope. Okay. So that's 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. So let's just say all we got to do with lace and all that kind of stuff. But my thing for me though is that it really gives you a custom look and you didn't do all that much. Okay. So, I mean, you just glue that shut and then hopefully my glue's okay. And I didn't say hi. I hope you guys are doing well. Nothing. So I apologize for that. So a little bit more right there. And it's a little off, but that's okay. It looks pretty good. So anyway, so we have an envelope and of course we can decorate on here and do whatever we want to do, but that's just with extra paper that maybe we would have thrown away or not used or whatever. And it adds a lot to it. Um, okay, so I think for the most part, um, you guys probably do that kind of stuff yourself. I mean, this, okay, for instance, these papers, I wouldn't throw them away. What I would do with those scraps is I would take, let me see if I can find my basket here. I would take that little basket and I did do that, is I cut out, I'm not take the basket, but I would take my little shapes and I could just trace around them. See, these came with the kit and I just trace around them and cut them out. Because then here you have some butterflies, right? That, like, see, let's do it right on the rose. And I like to do it on the back because then if it has black on it, you won't be able to see it. There we go. See that pretty butterfly? And that was just something that you may throw away. So make sure you do that. And I keep those scraps. When I'm working on a journal, I have a little like bucket over here and I just keep them in there because the other thing I do is I have some other kits, and most of this stuff is from My Porch Prints. In fact, so far all of it is. And this is Shabby Alice. Now, I love the shape of this envelope. And the thing about it is, though, I would probably use this envelope. Let me cut it out. I love the shape of it. I love the size of it. But realistically, I'm going to glue it to a page. I don't want the rabbit. It doesn't really go with my whole theme. But here's the thing, guys. The rest of it really kind of does. And that's one thing that I find, and it's not just with My Porch Prints, is a lot of your digital artists, a lot of their kits all kind of go together color-wise and even style. And so you can get a lot of mileage out of those kits if you think of using them not just with the kit it goes with. Not only that, I think what it does is it really gives you a more custom look because you're not just using what came with it. And I wouldn't even recommend using what came with it without doing much to it. Not on everything, but, on a lot of it. So I would probably take this. In fact, we'll do that. We will do it. Go. All right. So, it's still crooked. I am just crooked. Let me do that. There we go. Okay, so now I would probably glue this on a page. Or what I could do is I could decorate over the back of this if I wanted to have it just tucked in there, right? But it could easily, be glued to a page where you don't even see that, or you could easily decorate over that. I mean, that's not a hard thing to do, okay? And on this one, we're going to glue it. Okay. And we'll let those dry. Oh, the other thing that I have handy, I forgot to show you this, is right next to me I have a little basket full of different types of trims that I might use. In addition, right next to me, again, if you go through my craft room tour, I have all my laces and all my ribbons and stuff right next to me if I don't want to. But what I usually do is I pull from the colors that I think I'm going to be using and the ones I think I might use, and I'll put them next to me while I'm doing this. And a lot of times I'll just put them in that basket that I have all the other stuff, and that way I have that. And then right next to me also, I have these trays. Again, if you see my craft room tour, where I've got little bling and stuff. If I think it's a something that I might use some bling on, then I have it close to me because if I have to walk across the room, I probably won't use it. So, So I have those. Actually, I have another one sitting over there, but you get the idea. So I'm going to put these up. The other thing that you want to think about doing is I love to print on vellum, and I didn't do it here, but I will print pages on vellum and make things with that. This is a print that I screwed up, and when I printed on both sides, I didn't put it the right way, so one side's upside down. These are great for backing tags. These mistakes like that, they work great. I did the same thing here. There's writing on this, okay? And you might not notice it, but this would be upside down. So these work great to put on the back of tags. Don't waste them. And then this is, I printed this stuff on. This is also my porch prints, and this, I think it's called Shabby dictionary page. The best thing to do on all these kits, guys, is just go to Etsy, my porch prints, and look these up, and you can see the different things that they have. But I use these, and I printed them out on cardstock because I make tags out of this. They work great for making tags and things like that, and I'll show you. So that's something that I do. The other thing is I love pages like this that are kind of, shabby and stuff. These are great if you're like taking an envelope, for instance. Where'd my envelope go? Down here. Let's just say, let me get one. You're doing something with this and you want to cover part of it or something. You can just take this and use it, as some of your papers. It's lightweight enough. It'll work. Like I probably would cover this. Okay. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. In fact, we'll do a couple of them. And that's another thing. If I'm doing more than one journal that's similar, to me, a big part of the process is the designing. Okay, so when I'm doing something, when I decorate something, I come up with a design. I'll play with it, try different things. Okay, I'm going to keep this handy. And I'm going to take this paper and I'm going to cover that. Okay. And I think I'm going to use my art glitter glue and move this over to the side. And by the way, this is one of those Bluebell bottles that everyone's using, and then this is the top that goes with it. I have been using this without putting the needle in, and it works. And if it gets clogged up a little, I just stick the needle in. But I just love it. I mean, for my art glitter glue, I wasn't using it for that. I was just using it for my, 3-in-1, and then I realized, let me try this, and it really worked. So it's kind of great because I don't have to worry about that stupid pen. Okay, I think I have that down too far. Oh, don't stick yet. Okay. All right, so I did that. Get that folded right. My little folding thing, I have been just a mess lately. I don't know. Okay. So now I'm going to just cut that around it. Yeah, I did that definitely crooked. Doing everything crooked today. Make sure I don't cut it too much. You can always reseal it, but why, right? So Now, I could have just let part of this show, but I'm just giving you an idea. And I probably would end up sewing this, and I might still do that, but okay, so let's just say we want to do that, or I might have another paper that I like better. Or. Okay, don't be afraid to use some of the stuff that comes with it differently, because that's what makes things look, unique. Is that now this is printed out on cardstock, so this is going to give us a kind of a unique opportunity here. Of course, I cut it out extremely crooked. Yeah, I think that will work. Okay, so I am going to put this over here. Or do I want a different one? I'll do that. Okay, so it's not quite wide enough to go all the way across, but I think we'll be okay. So I am going to go ahead and glue that down. And I'm going to cut the top of this to kind of give it another pocket. Okay. Go ahead and glue this. I really think I want to cut that straighter. How far down do I need to cut that? Okay, right there. And the thing is, if I have all my stuff close to me, I tend to really get moving on this a lot faster than if I think of something and then, have to go get it. And the other thing is if I'm doing multiple journals, I'll come up with a idea or a plan or something, and I'll make sure I don't do that upside down. See if it fits. Yeah, it's a little crooked, but I can trim it. I'm going to put a little notch in there anyway, so probably should have done that on my trimmer. Be a lot better. Okay. This one's not straight either. Okay. So I'm going to put that here, but you get the idea. You guys take your time. I'm going to put lace on there anyway. Now I could, because this is so thick, make it a double pocket. Maybe I will do that. I might do that. And do that right here. Okay, so I can put that there. And so when that dries, and I'll just ink up the sides a little bit. And that's part of the reason too why I use these envelopes. I have a lot of them, and I do have to kind of glue that down so it doesn't cause a problem. And I don't know if I want to notch that or not. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna, because I'm gonna put something on that. And what I'm gonna do is, okay, I can either have a tag go in here, or I can have it go through the side. I think I'm going to do it to go through the side. So what I would do then is I would cut whatever side. You kind of have to decide, on where you want it on the page. I'm just going to do it on this side. And you just do a slither. You're just basically opening up this side. Just very, very small amount. So then you have this here, okay, that you can put something in, because it's closed up there. It'll be closed down there. And if you want to, when you put it on the page, you can put glue here, and here, and then you'll have 2 pockets, which I probably will end up doing because I like doing that. And I'm just doing that to kind of get, well, I don't really want it in the middle. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it just right over here. Because, let's see, the middle of that is going to go about right here. Okay, so we'll put something in there, and then here we'll have 2 pockets. So I think I'm gonna do this one. I should have done it before I put it in there, but I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do. I don't know if it'll fit in there. Well, she'll see. It might not. It's kind of thick. I have to go this way. All right. It's pretty small, but that's okay. And probably what I would do, I've got my lace and trim and all that over here. Move that up here. Is I would take something not super fancy. I might put that on there because I am going to sew this, so I don't know whether I have these other ones over here too. This one kind of has a curve to it. It's kind of weird. So I think maybe I'll do that rickrack stuff if I can find the end of it. Kind of weird. All right, here we go. So I think, do I want that there? Do I want it there? All right, I'm not going to think too much because it'll take me forever. Put that top on. And I really do go back usually and sew a lot on these. It just depends on, if there's places for me to sew. Oh, you know what? I was going to ink that up too. And this is just taking an envelope and then, doing something with it that with extra paper that you might have. And this is something that I printed that I ended up not using, and so it's just in that pile. Okay, I don't know if I could put lace over there, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to use this. Because I kind of want to put something up here, so I don't want it to distract too much. Put that up higher so you guys can see. Nothing really, that crazy, but, and then I'm going to glue that down because eventually I'll sew it probably. Okay, hold that for a second. And then I'm going to take my little thing full of stuff and decide what other thing I might put on there. I'm just pulling stuff out. I don't have anything planned. You know, let's see, maybe one of these butterflies, right? Maybe a rose. Who knows, right? I've got little tickets over here. You just kind of have to play around. I'm moving pretty quick because, you know, it's a time thing, but the best thing to do, now see, I didn't cut this out perfectly, but when you ink it up, you really can't tell that much anyway. And I'm going to just take all these little things. I think I like this butterfly a little bit better because it has some of this other stuff on it. And I will just use this butterfly and this little rose. And I think this is supposed to be a stamp. So let's see. Usually I put the biggest item down. And then, I don't know if I'm going to use a butterfly. It may be too big. Maybe I do that. I don't like that. I usually want 3 things. I'm not sure why. I just do. And then maybe I'll go like that. All right, I think I'm just going to do that just for time's sake. And then I do want some lace up here. So I think I'm going to put that up there maybe. I have another one. Maybe I'll do just a plain one. No, I don't want that. I have some plain stuff here somewhere. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so just put this up there. And I don't really glue things down until I know for sure where I'm going to put everything because it can totally change, you know. So, and this is bigger. It's just kind of folded. So I am going to put that up here. And I'll trim that off in just a second. Get my white over here. And then maybe I'll put some of that over here just to kind of make it look like it goes. And I'll just kind of put that right there. Trim both of those. Okay. And then I feel like this needs some sort of textile behind it, so maybe it might be too dark. Let's see here. Yeah, that might be good. so I'm going to take this piece of lace and maybe put that's too big. I don't know if I want that edge on there. Gotta make it a little less. Okay, so like maybe that way. I think I'm not liking the clock. Take that out. Yeah. Maybe something else over there. And this is kind of what I do. I just kind of move stuff around till it makes sense to me. And that's why I don't do a lot of stuff with you guys on camera, because it does take me a while to figure it out. And I'm really kind of picky about where I put things, so I think I like that. I don't think that's working for me. Let me see what else I have. How about a word? I don't think posies will work. I thought I had some other words cut out. Okay, I'll put that on there. I'll just put a word. And I didn't ink this, so I'm going to have to ink it. And this one. And so I have that there. I want more this way. Then I had that. All right, I'm just start gluing down because we can't spend all day on this, right? But anyway, I really just don't know what I'm going to do until I start doing it. And you just have to go for it. And if you do one that you really like, then you duplicate it. You make something, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but similar. And that's kind of what my process is. Put that on. And whenever I'm doing any kind of fabric or textile or even paper to it, I always usually use the 3-in-1 because I think it just kind of works better. Put that there. Stay down. I think I'm going to do right here. And I'll do that kind of off here. Or, I don't know. See, that's too big. I need a smaller element. I don't really want that rose there. It's too small. And I could dig for another one, but I think this will work. Okay, so then I'm going to put this kind of about right here. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of my blingies. I don't think that pink goes with that well. I have these little pink ones here. I don't want big ones, so put a little bit of glue right here and wipe that off. because I know those things are not going to stick. Probably should have got my little sticky thing because I know what's going to happen. I think 3 will be enough. And get my little tool thing out, but I'm lazy. I'm probably going to wish I did by the time I get done. Oh, great, it's upside down. Where did it go? See, now my fingers are sticky, so that just kind of is not going to work. I've got one left. Okay. So on the cuff, and then you would have a pocket. You'll have a pocket behind here. You'll have a pocket in front. You'll have a little pocket over here. That could have been down further, but that's okay. And then you would just glue this on. And if you do it like this, then you'll have another pocket behind there. So we made that. That's cool. Let's see what our time looks like. Well, we're pretty much out of time, and we only did one thing. Okay, so, oh gosh, guys, I don't know. We could probably throw in one more deal here. Let's see. These are really cool. So let's just say we want to decorate that. I don't know. Let's see here. We could take maybe some of this. Okay. This is some of our lace that we dyed. And I have a whole basket full of stuff over here that I call it my beige thing. So I don't know. Well, I don't know if I want to do that. Hold on. Do I want to put any of this behind there? I don't know. I can't really decide. Do I want to put some of that behind here? It just looks like it needs something. This one's a little bit darker. So, what just happened to that piece that I had? Okay, put it back over there. And the thing is, you can't really go wrong. You'll figure out. See, I don't know if I want it to cover that whole rose though. Right? Let me see. I don't think there's a right way or wrong way for that. Okay, so let's see. Do I want to do that or do I want to do something else? I think I'll do that. And then what I think I will do is let me do a button. Not sure what button. Oh, I want a bigger one. Maybe that. It's really hard for me sometimes because it takes me forever to figure out what size button I want. I don't know if I want one that big though. Okay, so maybe I won't do a button. All right, I'm going to do that, and then maybe I will do... Do I want a rosette? No, I don't want to do that. I think I'm just going to do that, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And what I'm going to use this for is a pocket. That's what I did on the other one. So, and I want this loose on the ends, and I don't want it to cover the entire rows, but kind of at the bottom. Yeah, I think I want it like that. The other thing, I use these little plastic things. And I will put that in there, like that, with just that little piece of lace. Get the extra glue off of there. There's some on my fingers. Okay, so I probably will put something in the middle. I don't know what yet. I haven't found it. Let's see if I have something else over here that I might use real quickly. See if one of these would work. Really needs to be big enough, but I don't know. I don't remember what I have in here. Well, that's purple, so that wouldn't work. Here is a pink one. I don't know. I don't like that. Definitely don't like that. Well, I don't really know what I'm going to put in there, but I think I will put something at some point. And my gut tells me it's probably going to be a button. So it will likely be one about this size. And then I would take some maybe a little bit of my and that's another thing. I have my scrap box right next to me too, because that's, that's what you got to do. Use up those scraps, or you'll never use them all. And I'm looking to see if I have any other little thing that I might want to put in the middle. In addition to just a tiny piece of eyelash trim would be nice, but I don't have any. So, do I have any in here? Maybe sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Yes, I do. Yay, here we go. Okay, so I've got a little bit of eyelash trim right here in my beige bag. So what I would do is put that. Now I have to thread that, so let me get this out real quick. Just an issue I have with not threading it. Okay, let me get a beige one. I want to use a beige one. And I'm just going to go ahead and put, maybe I'll do one that has just 2 holes to spare us all this. Would that look good? No, it's too purple. I used to have tons of these that had the thread already through them, and then I've used so many of them. Here's one, I'll use that. Okay, so all I'm going to do is put this through here, just so that it has thread in it, just because it drives me nuts. Okay. Twist, tie a knot. I don't have to tie a knot because honestly, guys, we're going to glue it down, but I'll just loop it at least one time. I'm going to get this close to me so I can see it. It's a very small piece of thread, which is probably not great. I used to keep a little spool of it. This is just the wax thread, and I use it to my little leftover pieces because I have this thing about my buttons having a thread through it. Oh well, I'm going to give up. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to cut it, and we will glue it down in just a second. Okay. And what I'm going to try and do is put this little tiny piece of lace under there. This one, or maybe this one. I'm going to use this one because it's kind of raggedy. Oops, maybe I cut it too much. Yeah, I might have. I have to use another piece. I just want the contrast. So I will put that. See how my desk gets? You know what? How about this? What happened to that butterfly that I had? Oh, get another one. I don't know what happened to the other one. I lost it. How about if we do that? Oh, yeah, I like that better. See, that's what happens. You'll be doing something, and all of a sudden you'll go, oh, wait. How about that? Oh, yeah, I like that. Went in a completely different direction, didn't we? But I'm still going to put a button in there. So, should I put that in there still? Yeah, I think I'm going to. Let's just go for it. There's no right way or wrong way to do this. Okay, so I'm going to put that down. And that's just that grungy piece of lace. And I'm going to put a little bit of this eyelash trim in the middle. Okay. Not a lot. I'm going to cut it. Where'd my scissors go? I buried them under here. I don't want that much, obviously. I just want a little bit. Okay. Then on top of that, we put a little bit more glue. You can barely see that lace under there, but it's just all the different textures added together look cool. And this is a very old vintage button, so it kind of gives it that flavor. I'm going to hold that down for a second, get the extra glue up. So anyway, guys, that is kind of my process. I just have enough things around me that I can change my mind. I can pull different things out, and that's what helps me. And just kind of once you get moving on this stuff, you will just keep going. I mean, you will just keep going and nonstop. So, I mean, I can do this for hours and hours because, see, once I get a couple of them done, then I get real excited and I keep going, and it's just a lot of fun, man, for me. Anyway, that's all I really had. It's just kind of what I do and how I do it, and maybe next time we'll just do more together. We'll get to the actual decorating. So, okay. Anyway, see you next time.